Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of AM and the PM with Amanda and Mark. Amanda, what are we talking about today?
So, Mark and I actually had a very interesting conversation about friends, I guess, last night.
Friends,
Friends,
not the
friendships.
show. The show sucks. No, I'm just kidding. I'm too young to honestly know about Friends. You watch Friends? Not that Friends. That wasn't the topic. Maybe a different time?
There's a lot of people that would turn this off right now just from what you just said. So, I would be careful.
Sayonara.
I would be. Oh my God. I would be careful. Friends is an amazing show. You have not watched it?
Don't plan on it either. All right, we'll see you guys later.
I think you have to watch it at some point.
All right.
Even just it's funny. It's really funny, and you love comedy.
Yeah. We'll get back to that at a
But
later time.
but friendships and just I guess like your relationship with people and just as you grow older, what you learn about who you want to keep in your life, who you don't want to keep in your life, um, stuff like that. But I'm gonna be quite honest with you guys. I am half asleep right now, even though I had a double shot Starbucks this morning
Just
and
had a lot of coffee.
2 more cups of coffee. But we went to Mark's family restaurant today. I did not work. I just kind of sat there because the restaurants are now shut down again and they were not very busy. So, but I'm like not alive. So, yeah.
Wake up.
Anyways, Mark, if you would like to start off, I guess, just a little.
Yeah, I mean, I can try to set the scene. I want to touch on it first because I think it's important to note how some of these topics come about and maybe opportunities. We don't like to miss opportunities. So Amanda and I talk all the time. Obviously, we're hanging out. Yesterday, for instance, we were driving in the car. We had this conversation, like she said, and this happens all the time. It happens when we're just driving around, when we're walking around a mall or walking around and doing anything, just talking on the phone, and we have these good conversations like, wow, we need to make sure that this is a topic. So we like to bring those up. And I don't know, like, if we're going to give like specific like names and stuff like that. I don't think that's really the idea, just more like the abstract idea of who are the people that you like, what are some things in your life that you like about friends, don't like about friends, and just like things that you see almost written on the like writing on the wall as far as how you interact with people and grow and evolve. And that's kind of where the conversation started. So I'll try to go back in time here and think about what we were kind of talking about. And basically you have people in your life, and you go through school with them and stuff, and you establish relationships with them, and as you grow you just kind of grow apart occasionally. You not necessarily grow apart per se, but it's very interesting the route that friendships take throughout life, meaning you might be really close in high school and college and whatever, and then as you go your separate ways and you have jobs, you just can't see each other as often. Life just happens. And then maybe you'll circle kind of like back around and see them more at some point, or they'll be closer to you. But I think just that weird change in frequency of how close you are with people is really the biggest thing that we were kind of talking about yesterday. So, I mean, I don't know how you would like to continue to elaborate, but we can dive deeper.
Yeah. So when I was in high school, I had many friends and even middle school people that I were friends with I had one friend that I was friends with since we were babies. I had two super close friends that were really close and still are like dear to my heart. um, but I do not talk to them anymore. Just because of like drugs, you know, the choices they chose. And then one friend, in particular, it was just kind of like something we went through together, and you know, I guess I could say she like did me wrong or whatever. And like I hated her for some years. Like I held like a grudge towards her, I would say. for like what she did to me. Um, but I forgave her, and we're not like the best of friends, but she's someone like we don't really talk, but we message here and there, and I I would still consider her almost like family even though I don't talk to her. Okay, that sounds weird.
Mm.
But like it's literally just because she was like, I would still, you know, we obviously went through a really really rough patch, and um stopped talking completely. And this was like years and years ago, but um I would still, consider seeing her and consider being her friend. Like you get the gist. Um but then a very interesting part, and it's definitely Mark and I talking about this is interesting because he's had like one super close friend forever, and then he had like a couple friends in high school, but like I think I've just had like more close friends, I guess. Like I don't really know if that's what it means, but um in high school, my one friend, it's like hard not to say names. I don't think anyone would care if I said their name, but I just, don't want to like, you know. Um my one friend was very very like upset with me. I was like going through a breakup. I was literally like 16, 17, and I met my new friends at AW Beatty Career Center. I went there for early childhood, and I met some new friends there, and we became super 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 close. My friends Savannah, Abby, and Lindsay, we call ourselves Sal. We are still super, super close. But my one friend was just upset that I, reached out to my other friends about the breakup that I was going through and da da da. And I started hanging out with them, and she was just like jealous of our, me being friends with other people. And there was like more like drama that went into it, catty high school girls. Ugh.
Oh,
But
yeah?
yeah. But we were both catty. But anyways. So, whatever. We got over it. I'm still best friends with, I'm just going to say it, Lauren, my friend Lauren. It's like hard not to say it. I'm still best friends with Lauren to this day, and I'm best friends with Sal, if you're following. I know the whole Sal thing. So yeah. I obviously had more to say, but the point is friendships evolve, friendships go through things. Now I have, Lauren, for example, there's been times where I don't see her for months. And even Sal, with like Sal, there has been times where I thought my one friend Savannah didn't want to be friends with us anymore. Literally because she just like didn't reply to our group message anymore. One time we thought Abby like didn't want to talk to us because she wasn't answering a lot. You just grow. We're in our 20s. When you are in this stage of life, you're growing, you're trying to like build your life basically for yourself. And I guess like when you're in high school, it's more like friends, 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 fun, fun, fun. Now we're all out here like being badass bitches. So like, but yeah, and my friend Lauren and I, we actually stopped being friends for like 2 years, and we reconnected. And I remember the day we reconnected, it was so weird because like, we went through some stuff together. It was all stupid drama, and I'm so glad we got past it because literally I consider her like my best friend. I love her. Yeah, but like honestly, it like makes me a little emotional thinking about how we didn't talk for like 2 years because that's crazy because we're like right back where we were after that, So.
Mm-hmm. That was a nice story.
Thank you. I was trying not to go too deep.
That's pretty deep, yeah. Yeah, I don't. My thoughts on this topic are broader. I mean, like you said, kind of had one like main friend for a long time. Sup, Zach? So like it's I've had one friend for a long time. When you have one friend for a long time, you go through high school and college and all that sort of stuff, then you end up kind of growing apart and doing different things. And like you're still friends, but like it's more of a infrequent type of friendship. We're all kind of getting to be adults now, so you have work, you have relationships outside of like that friendship, you have hobbies and things just start to people evolve. That's really what it is. I mean, we're talking about friendships, but ultimately it's people that evolve. Because why are you smiling?
I just hit this off the microphone.
Oh, yeah, don't do that. But basically, the biggest thing that I've started to see, and I'm going to use again myself as an example here. When you change, there's this saying. I think it's I might butcher it, but like you're the sum or the average of the 5 people you hang around with most, right? So if you are hanging out with 5, I might have even said this in like the last episode or something like that. But the point is that the people that you're hanging around with, you're probably going to be like them. And there's a time that comes in your life, and this is it's a thing that that I've heard a lot of over the past 2 or 3 years, is at certain points, like don't be afraid to like cut out people from your life. I think that's a little drastic. I don't ever want to like just like say, all right, fuck you, buddy. We're like, whatever, like to anybody, right? But the point is that as you continue to evolve and grow, you cannot let people. You can't like say like, oh, I like this friend group is means a lot to me, but I want to be somewhere else, and you can't let those types of things hold you back. It doesn't actually matter if it's friends, parents, family. I think you should just continue to move forward and evolve. So that's kind of the way that I think about this, because there's a lot of things that I see from people, and it's like I don't understand how they can, like, it just doesn't jive with me. Like I don't understand how they can do certain things or not do certain things and be happy.
I saw this girl. This girl tweeted something yesterday, and it really annoyed the shit out of me. I'm gonna be honest. It said, "All I need is my boyfriend and like my 5 friends, and then everybody else is irrelevant to me." I just ew.
What made you mad about that?
I get like what she means. Like I get the vibe that she's like putting out, like she only needs these people who are close to me. She doesn't need anyone else. And like I feel the same way, I like having my close people to me, and like I don't need anyone else, but at the same time, I just I don't like how she used the word irrelevant. Like everyone else doesn't matter, like I don't care, like blah blah. So I personally at one point, I literally told Mark, like, I have too many friends. Like, well, because, like, I would have, like, Sal, Lauren, and then, like, at one point, my coworkers and I would try to get together a lot. And when you work Monday through Friday, and, I don't even make my own hours, I work whatever they want me to, I like, it's hard to not get time to yourself. And then at one point I felt like I was always doing stuff, like every single weekend I was always busy. So that's what I mean when I like say I have too many friends. Like it's not, I don't really have too many friends. But then like I feel like you can never have too many friends. Like it's not like you need to hang out with everyone 24/7. Like keep in touch with them, stay cool with them. Like I think it kind of comes back to like almost high school. Like I feel like in high school you have like that friend group and you're friends with them, and like you're not friends with anyone else. And what you were saying before, something about like, I don't know, not telling. Like I remember I've had a couple friendships that we like straight up cut it. Like arguing over text message, like we're not friends anymore, like, it's just so funny to me. It's like, who the fuck does that? And people probably still do that who are like our age, which is kind of scary. Anyways, you were saying.
I mean, I don't know. My experience is that I've had some friends, I've had different acquaintances along the road. Our paths diverged. We went apart a little bit more. Still know people, still have, certain levels of acquaintance with them. But at the same time, as you evolve and change, there are always going to be more people out there that there's going to be people that you move away from, and there's going to be people you move towards, meaning the essence of the person. So let's take, for instance, let's say that you really like sports and you have a friend that really likes sports. And then over time you start to like sports less, and maybe you start to like, I don't know, business more or something like that. There's going to be people out there that are going to be more like you in that regard, you know? So there's no reason to ever feel like lonely or anything like that. I don't really think, right? Because what I've found personally over this last year, and again, we might have talked about this in previous episodes, is that I have found a lot more connections, and I've done a lot more growing and building relationships with people this year than I probably have done in any other year, because I started to realize, okay, hey, I'm interested in these things. Let's go try to find other people that are interested in these things, whether it's via social media or just around here in Pittsburgh, mutual friends and all that. And I've made some solid connections with great people. And that's what I love more than anything. That's what we do here on occasion with guest couples. That's what we do over on Fueled by Progress. We're trying to continue to build that network of people and, you know, ultimately friendships. That's what those are, right? But again, it's very hard to move towards something without moving away from something. And that is just one of those things where when it comes to individuals and like the connections between them, it's unfortunate because I feel like it's happened in my life. And I also believe that there is kind of like a two-way street, like we were talking about with friendships before, but yesterday as well. And it's like the problem with it is completely at the core of it. It's two individual people, right? We talk about this a decent amount. You can't control anybody. You can't tell anybody else what to do. Everybody has to be their own individual person and work on themselves and make sure that it's kind of like a relationship in a sense, but obviously platonic, and it's a friendship. It's like there's a lot of times where like you can't be a good friend because you're fucked up in one way or another or something like that, or you're stressed or you're in some sort of other thing. So just a lot of that sort of stuff that I've kind of seen and experienced over the past, and I try to always do my best with it from my end, but it's frustrating and sometimes upsetting that you can't always get out of things what you put into them or what you would like to when it comes to just interpersonal relationships and friendships and all that. It's kind of my thoughts on it anyway. So
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was just interesting to hear your perspective on that, because I feel like I've kind of almost like learned and evolved from that already with friendships, but I feel like you just recently have kind of learned that.
I think I have an interesting quality about me. I think that I am very committed to people and like I want things to work. Well, let me actually use personal anecdotes. In my past relationships, they weren't good. Like they weren't like you could see that there was like an obvious
Actual
difference.
relationships?
Yeah, we're going to say relationships and then I'll bring it into friendships. But like still like a person-to-person relationship, but I'm talking like a relationship, right? Like a boyfriend-girlfriend type thing. In the past, I wanted them to work, right? Like I wanted them to work to a fault almost. Like you can see that it wasn't working, but I still wanted to. I was committed to that, right? I feel like I'm the same way to certain like friendships, right, that I've had in my past and still continue to this day. But the other thing is though, now a weird thing that I'm starting to see about myself is that as I'm moving towards more of this place of here's so remember that, but now I'm going to try to paint the picture of what I'm doing now, right? Now I have a lot of acquaintances. I have ball hockey people, I have business people, I have, you know, like all these different avenues of people, ways that I'm meeting people, right? The problem that I have is that I want to be friends with all these people. I mean, I want people to like me, but I'm not trying to like change the way. That's a whole different, argument or whatever. But the point is, there are people out there that I have an acquaintance with, whether it's hockey or whatever, right? The problem that I have sometimes is that subconsciously I worry that I'm not going to be able to almost keep up with the level of people that I know. It's a weird topic, I think, but like, for instance, we all know a lot of people generally, right? Well, let's say you talk to people on occasion. I actually feel bad when somebody talks to me, we have a little conversation, and then I can't get back to them for a period of time because we're just doing other shit. Like everybody's doing other shit, right? So it is a little weird, like that type of thing, because I feel like that is hurting on the, I don't know, we'll say commitment to other people type thing. I'm probably doing a bad job of explaining this, but I just mean that once you get to this point where like other people are asking you for information, or they want to like, hang out or do other things like this, like on occasion, and you're trying to fit everything in, it becomes tough, because now it's like, it's a little different than friendship, but it's still interpersonal, like communication and connection. And it's, I don't know.
No, I know what you're saying, because that's what I mean when I say I have too many friends. Like, I don't really right now, but like when I, was hanging out with like a lot of people from work and stuff too, it was like I felt stressed because I mean, recently I've been putting myself first, but I used to put others first a lot more. And then like whenever I would like cancel with someone, I like wouldn't want to cancel even if I like kind of wanted to, just because like if I went out with them on the weekend, I felt like I would just be stressed because I just, I work whatever hours, and you don't by weekend. I really like to every once in a while make sure I, stay home on a weekend day so that I can just like regroup, I guess, because I work all week, and if I'm not working, I'm working out or hanging out with Mark or doing something, So I like to just like regroup on the weekend. But a lot of the times my weekends were just like filled with stuff, and I think now more than ever, before, if someone asks me to hang out, I don't feel like I have to like say yes, I guess, if that makes sense. There's something else you said that stuck out to me. Oh God.
Committed. Percentage of fit, like 100, like different percentage you're putting into the friendship. I don't know. I was gonna say something too, though.
Go ahead. I'll try to remember.
It's a common theme, but I'm glad that you brought it up.
I remember.
Go ahead.
So, I used to have really bad, like, I don't want to say anxiety, because then Mark will be like, you don't have anxiety. No, that's not what I mean. I used to just get, like, really...
I don't know about that one.
I used to just get really worried when people wouldn't reply to my text. Like, for example, Sal right now, I sent them, like, 6 messages last night. And one was, like, long. Okay? None of them replied. Am I a little disappointed? Yeah. Because I don't want to... I wanted to text them again today and tell them something. And I'm like, no, that's too much, Amanda. But I used to get really worried when people wouldn't reply. And I would, like, stress about it. Like, what if they think this of what I said? What if they think this of what I said? What if they, and then the whole, like, insecurities kicked in. I don't know what happened. It was really bad at one point. I think, like, I even had it with Mark one before. I would say, like, a year ago, at least, it was still happening. A little bit, at least. But I obviously fixed it myself. I, like, worked on it and was just like, Amanda, like, I don't know if it was, like, something I saw on social media or something. I honestly feel like it was. I honestly feel like I saw someone else that, like, related to me with, like, that, like, texting someone or whatever and, like, feeling the same way I did. And I was like, oh, okay, like, that's normal to feel that way or something. And I realized that every person I talk to, they love me, and they, like, my friends, Sal, literally say they like how I text because it's exactly how I talk, and they think it's funny. So they love me, and I love them, and we have a great relationship, and we wouldn't be texting or talking if they didn't want to talk to me. So I don't know. That's definitely just, like, a weird thing that I had going on. But I feel like I have heard a lot of people just, like, on social media and stuff describe that same type of feeling. And I think also when you have a friendship with someone, or you're basically, like, in a relationship with someone that you have a friendship with, it's like a two-way street. And then when you text and tell them all this stuff and they don't reply, or they only say so much, it's hard to not worry about it, I guess. But I've moved past it, thank God. But
that overthinking is quite prevalent, definitely in relationships, I would say. I know I used to do it a long time ago. I don't think I ever really did in our relationship, but I know that that's something. You always wonder. Think that's a normal thing to wonder what people are going to think or what people are going to say based on what you're putting out there, or in a situation like that.
Yeah,
But
I feel like it comes back to being comfortable with yourself too, even with friendships sometimes, I guess. Um, yeah.
we've talked a lot about the actual friendship itself and the dynamics of that.
Mhm.
But you said something earlier, and I wanted to make sure that we hit on it because it's literally the whole core principle and the whole core issue, I would say, in all of this. Any sort of interpersonal relationship, whether it's a friendship or relationship or whatever. We talk about it a lot because this is a relationships podcast, but it absolutely is involved in friendships as well. And it's that you as an individual have to be personally responsible for the things that you're doing, and you have to have your shit in order before you can get into a relationship, but in this case, get into a friendship. And I'm not, it's a little less because a friendship is different than a relationship. Obviously, like you're not like building your life together. You're just kind of like going through it.
Yeah, well, I've had some toxic friendships.
For sure.
Ugh, like this girl said the most fucked up shit to me. She said a lot of fucked up shit to me. And we actually were friends again. We like worked through it somehow, like 3 different times. And we were friends again, which actually was pretty cool. And I actually just don't talk to her right now because we actually like just don't talk. We like grew apart. We stopped texting. We stopped working together. Um, but we actually worked through it, which is crazy. But yeah.
Um, Again, yeah. A lot of it matters what path you're on and where you're headed, and if the other person in this case is moving
Yeah.
towards it with you, or they're you could be moving up, they could be moving down, or whatever way or whatever. But ultimately, yeah, at the end of the day, if you're not in a good place, and this is how it goes for literally every fucking thing. If you don't have your shit in order and you don't have your stuff, your mental, physical, and like all your stuff, like at least trying to get better, it's very hard to bring anybody else into that, whether it's just a friendship or a relationship. I think it's very difficult. And then you have people that go through, like maybe you'll be in a friendship, right? And then people go through things, like an individual will go through things, and then they can't give as much into the friendship, or they're just being like
Yeah.
defensive or whatever. I mean,
Well,
it's just all sorts of shit.
I'm a very caring person. And like I said, I've had friendships that had drugs, alcohol, people just with like, you know, mental health situations they were going through on their own. And I'm a very caring person, so I think that was a really hard time for me. I mean, obviously for them too as well. Um, Trying to be their friend because it's not healthy for you to, be friends or be around somebody like that as well. And obviously you want to help them, but it's not like a good thing for you either. Like, so sometimes you just have to cut that tie or, you know, be there for them if they need you or if they reach out to you, but you're not going to sit there and be best friends with them because you have to do what's best for you.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't understand why people don't. If people don't like get that concept or they just can't do it, I empathize for people that don't have the ability, I guess, to think about themselves and work on themselves. But I just know so many people that I don't know, just in like I said, bad relationships or bad friendships because they can't. Like we saw that TikTok the other day. I don't want to make this about relationships, but we saw that TikTok the other day about that girl that she said like you're in a really good relationship, but she just says shit and just like is really mean and she's the source of all the problems or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's your fault, and I know she understands it's her fault, but like
Well,
you can ask for help, obviously, but like that is the thing is like it's always here. You have to start at yourself. You have to. It's not most of the time. It's not
yeah,
like
but
the
that's
actual.
not easy for everyone.
I understand that. I understand it's not easy, but I just think that is ultimately really the only way to kind of fix things in
Yeah.
many different areas of life. And it's difficult because, again, like I said, even in friendships, you have that. And then that causes like disagreements, you know, fights, whatever. And then you can lose potentially good people in your life just because you guys, people don't understand that you need to work. Personal development is just so fucking vital. And it's once, it's just a passion of mine and something that I know we preach here, and it pertains much to a lot to friendships. But yeah, I mean, ebbs and flows, I guess, of friendships and the way that all works, because, maybe you can be really good friends with somebody in like grade school, and then you go a period of time where you're not friends, and then you rekindle that, and they could be like your best man or your maid of honor or something like that. I don't know how, those are just, I don't know how you even classify those types of things. How do you pick somebody like that when you don't have really close people is a question.
I don't know. A lot of people pick like random ass family members and shit.
What's up, Jimmy? I'm gonna pick a hobo. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Just kind of interesting, the whole dynamic there. But I don't know. You got any other friend topics, friend ideas?
No, but like, who cares who your best man is? Like, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, they were my best man. No, we're not friends. Like, I don't know. It's just like,
yeah,
just get married.
kind of superficial. Yeah.
Just get married.
Just a thought. Yeah, but
sometimes I consider not even having a wedding party just because it seems stressful, but not really, because I need my girls in it. I do. Because no one else seems to be fucking getting bridesmaids. Lindsay, Savannah.
Wow. Shots
I'm
fired.
just kidding.
Shots fired.
Abby wants to be a bridesmaid, so I'm giving that to her. It's for you, Abby.
Nice.
No, I can't imagine them not being in it.
Yeah.
And Lauren, of course.
Yeah.
Whether it's, I don't want to make them pay for everything. I know this is a little bit off topic, but it's about friendship. I know a couple people that recently got married, and I didn't realize how much the bridesmaids pay for. What? I don't want to make my friends pay for half the fucking shit.
They're in the wedding, dude. No, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
No, it is. That
this.
is how it is. It's like they're in the wedding and they pay. I didn't know that. I thought this was a happy thing. I thought being a maid of honor was a happy thing. I didn't know I would have to pay for all your shit. I'm not doing it. No, I would do it for my friend, but I'm just saying I feel weird about doing that. Like, I don't know. I want to get them some like cheap bridesmaid dresses. I mean, I'm sure if they want to pay for them themselves, that's fine. Like, I'm sure they wouldn't mind doing that, but it's just like, my friend Lauren was just recently at a wedding, and I heard about all the money she had to spend on it, and other people had to spend, and it was a beautiful wedding. It looked beautiful, but I'm not making my friends pay that much. No.
Mm-hmm. We're not planning, by the way. But it's not just hypothetical.
We're planning
for a period of time.
We're planning.
Well, we're always planning, but we're not planning.
No, I don't have a ring, is what he means.
Yeah.
See this? No ring.
Not there yet.
No.
We're taking that slow. It's gonna happen. Could happen, but it's a slow roll.
We have to move out first.
Clock starts ticking at that point, yeah, so we can't do that. But yeah, that kind of, I think, sums up the friendship thing. Just kind of a quick run through on that. It's a big topic. It's a pretty deep topic. We could probably go into it a little bit more, but ultimately the same things kind of apply with friendships and relationships, just a little different from one another. Maybe we should talk briefly about kind of what we have going on, just as some updates. So we actually had a meeting this morning. If you saw our story, obviously this is going to go up at a different time or whatever. We're actually recording this on Saturday, but the point is, if you've been following us, you know that we have a website, amandthepmpodcast.com. Go check it out. Make sure, obviously, to subscribe to us on YouTube and check us out on all the podcasting platforms. Leave a review if you'd like to on Apple Podcasts. That'd be great. But quick update that we're going to give is kind of like in allusion to more updates to come. We're really working on the merch. Like we're not fucking around anymore. Like this is actually happening. I know we talked about it probably in the last one or the one before, but we actually sat down this morning and we started to hash out a bunch of different things, get the products in order. We have had a lot of samples come in the past month or so. So we are. There goes a sneeze. So we are. We have a couple more things coming. They're somewhat surprises for Amanda that I just kind of ordered on my own, on my own accord. There's another sneeze. But we are definitely going to have some solid stuff in there very soon. We will make sure to update it on Instagram, Facebook. We'll talk about it more in depth. We might honestly, maybe we should make either like a video or a whole podcast or something on the merch.
Obviously.
Something like that, where we try it on or some shit. That would be cool.
Yeah.
So we'd love to do that. Like we said, we're getting the samples and everything like that. But just stay tuned.
It's very, very, very exciting. We're very excited for you guys to see it. We're excited to wear it. We're excited to... Everything about it is exciting.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
we're excited.
Yeah, we got some good stuff coming. So we appreciate all the support tremendously. We do. If you'd like to snag anything up, it should be on the website here pretty soon. But like I said, look out for more updates to come. But with that, friendships, merch, personal development, all that jazz. Just keep on getting
all that
better.
jazz. I have said that at work about 20 times this week. And
There we
it's
go.
Because of you, you won't stop saying
All
it.
that jazz. There we go. But yeah. So again, guys, we thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. This has been another episode of AM in the PM with Amanda and Mark. We thank you as always for tuning in, and we'll talk to you guys in the next one.